Are there some dog people out there tonight? I hope there's some dog people.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a dog person, but one night after quarter draft night at a local watering establishment, I rescued a dog and became a dog owner for about 4 hours, and pretty proud of it. So this is that story. And when I was 21, I was away at school in New York City, and I came home to wonderful Erie, Pennsylvania in January for winter break. And Erie, Pennsylvania is just as terrible as you can imagine in January. It's cold, it's blustery, and there's tons of snow and ice everywhere. So me and my two best friends from high school, Pooh Bear and Sea Rat, go out to this bar called Scully's for quarter drafts. Quarter drafts are just as terrible as you can imagine, and but they're 25 cents each. So we are drinking trays of them. Things go by, things go great. Everybody is happily bubbly and intoxicated, and it's time to go home. Pooh Bear rolls out, goes home to meet his girlfriend. Sea Rat lives downtown, goes home. I did not live downtown, also did not have a girlfriend, so I get to call a cab. This was before Uber and before Lyft. I'm old, and so I call a yellow cab, and I call a yellow cab. They say they're going to be there in 20 minutes. Sea Rat's kind enough to wait outside with me. Sea Rat and I are waiting outside, and around comes the corner, downtown Erie, Pennsylvania, this mangy tan dog, probably about medium height. And when I say mangy, I mean like see the ribs. It's got scabs all over it. Maybe there were fleas jumping off of it. Maybe I imagined that. I was also pretty tipsy, but this dog is not in good shape. A little pussy eye. I mean, he was gross, but he loved me, just loved me. And for some reason, I loved him. And so it occurred to me that I can't leave this dog in the middle of downtown Erie, Pennsylvania, in the middle of winter. I need to somehow rescue him. And that seems like a reasonable plan, except for the fact that I've got a yellow cab on the way, and I know the yellow cab's going to say, "No, we can't take pets. It's not going to happen." So as the yellow cab's pulling up, I tell Sea Rat, just open the door for me and play along, because we don't have time to explain. The yellow cab pulls up. Sea Rat opens the door, and it occurs to me that I have to pretend that this stray dog is my seeing eye dog. So I pretend that I'm a blind man, and that this seeing eye dog is my only way to see. He's a guide dog, but this dog doesn't have a leash. He doesn't have a collar. He doesn't have a vest. He's mangy. He looks terrible, and he doesn't have a name. So the taxi driver is adamantly like, no dogs, no dogs. And I said, this is my seeing eye dog, and his name's Sebastian. And I just kind of urge him towards the car. And somehow this mangy stray dog knew to jump in the taxi cab. He jumps in. I get in behind him, and I say, I'm going to 29th and Chestnut. You just give me a ride. I need to come with my dog. So the cabbie finally is just like, I'm not going to argue with it, whatever. Takes me to 29th and Chestnut. We get there. I'm pretending I'm blind the whole time, just looking around, telling Sebastian he's doing a good job, reaching over, trying to give him some pets. I mean, it was a show. We get to 29th and Chestnut, and the cabbie's just had enough of my shit. Like, he doesn't want to deal with me anymore. He's like, we're here, man, get out. And I said, because I'm still in character. Well, which way are we facing? And the cabbie's like, we're facing north. And I said, no, we're on the corner of 29th and Chestnut, or we're 29th and Cochrane. He's like, you're on 29th and Chestnut. I said, okay, thanks a lot. Come on, Sebastian. We get out of the car. We go to my parents' house. Now we get to my parents' house. My parents have 3 cats. I have no plan for what I'm going to do with this dog at this point. But the dog's very happy to see the cats. The cats, not so much. So I give the dog a whole bunch of cat food. He's eating. He's happy. And my phone rings. And it's my buddy, Chris Moore. And he says, Sabol, I know it's your last night in town. I've having people over. Why don't you come on up? and because the statute of limitations has passed, I will tell you that I drove way too intoxicated in my parents' car that night with a mangy stray dog that was riding in the back seat. And so we get to Chris Moore's house and walk in, and it's like a movie party. Like there's black lights, there's strobe lights, there's girls in half shirts dancing around. Like everybody's having a great time. And I walk in there with Sebastian, the seeing eye dog, and as soon as we walk in, it was like the record skipped. Like everyone stared at us, and I was like, "Hey, this is my dog Sebastian." And then it was like the beat dropped. Like everyone's just like, "Oh God, yay!" And so all these girls who have like half shirts on and have been dancing all night start like rolling around on the ground with this mangy stray dog who's got scabs all over him. He's got a pussy eye. And he's this dog who went from I'm a stray dog 10 minutes ago in downtown Erie freezing my balls off to I'm all of a sudden a rock star at this party. He's laying on his back, getting his belly rubbed by all these folks. He's having the time of his life. And I'm there for a couple hours having fun. Finally, I pull Chris Moore aside because I know I have to go back to school tomorrow. So I go up to Chris Moore and I say, "Hey, buddy, I need to ask a big favor of you." And Chris is like, "What is it, man?" And I said, "Well, I got to go back to school tomorrow, and I need you to take care of Sebastian." And Chris Moore looks at me, and he was obviously kind of intoxicated as well. And he was like, "Promise, man. I promise I'm going to take care of him." And he gives me like a big hug. So I feel pretty good about it. I go home, say bye to Sebastian, say bye to all my friends. Next morning, I hop on a flight to New York City, and I'm gone. I don't see Chris Moore or Sebastian again, ever. About 10 years later, little epilogue, Chris Moore friends me on Facebook, and I shoot him a message that says, "Hey, man, whatever happened with you and Sebastian?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I moved to North Carolina after that, took Sebastian with me, and he lived with me for 5 more years. So that was how I rescued a stray dog and got him a home and made him a rock star."